Hello everyone, you join me again on the Outer Banks of North Carolina with my 2018 Tesla Model 3 with now 81,000 miles. And we're doing another road trip video. Today I'm going to be driving about 8 hours to Asheville, the mountains of North Carolina. So we're going to make our way onto I-40. First I'm going to have to go through Highway 64. But we're going to see how the efficiency is, see how the journey is, and I have full self-driving 12.3.6, I believe. So we're going to be using that for the trip. I'm going to keep you guys updated with interventions, how it performs going through the mountains, which is going to be a little bit terrifying. But yeah, let's get this trip started. Nope. All right, let's get started. Whoops. Gotta switch hands there. Now let's get started. Little pit stop. We're going to oh, it doesn't show there. Well, we're going to Dunkin' because I need some coffee. I'm not getting a little tired, it's just the morning and I need coffee. Alright, we're now leaving Dunkin' because I just got some Dunkin' coffee and I'm all set to go. We have 3 hours and 11 minutes to our next supercharging stop, and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, I'm filming this clip since we're at a stop so FSD won't freak out on me because it really does not like it when you touch your phone. But our first stop is a supercharger in Raleigh and 188 miles, and I'll catch up with you guys once we get there. Alright guys, we just made it to our first supercharger stop using, or at least trying to only use, full self-driving to get from the Outer Banks to Asheville. Alright guys, we just arrived at our first charging stop in Cary, North Carolina. The car actually decided to reroute us to Cary instead of Raleigh. Cary's just a little bit west of Raleigh, so it's not that big of a difference. But we'll plug in and I'll give you the stats of our efficiency and how FSD did. So something I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video was the rules of this drive is try to use FSD as much as possible and no more than 10 miles over the speed limit, and that's what I've been doing. A lot of it has been 80 miles an hour, but honestly, pretty good efficiency, 274 watt hours per mile for going 80 most of the time. We drove not 204 miles, that's about 215 actually, because I forgot to reset the trip card about 10 miles into the trip. And we burned a total of 56 kilowatt hours of energy. We got here with 10%, and that's pretty good. Now when it comes to FSD, that whole 204 mile stretch, I only had to intervene once, which some people may say, oh, you shouldn't have to intervene at all. But that's why it's called full self-driving supervised. So basically the situation was there was construction, and the left lane was about to end, and there were cones that were slowly closing the lane. FSD saw the cones, but it just decided to swerve a little bit around it without changing lanes, which would have not ended very well. I might have rammed into some cones, so I just decided better to be safe than sorry, so I had to intervene and change lanes for it. But other than that, it did perfectly through traffic, through the city roads. One thing I did notice is when you're not on the interstate, the steering wheel nag is almost constant. It's a little bit annoying. It constantly asks you just touch the steering wheel, but other than that, when you're on the interstate, it's not very often at all, and it's really smooth nowadays. But anyway, I'm gonna go wander around this little shopping plaza that it took us to, and then in about 10 minutes, we'll be on our way to our next charging stop. The charging stop was right next to a Bass Pro Shop, and I know this might sound stupid, especially since I grew up in the South, but I've never been in here before. And this thing is huge. Like, can't really see it on camera, but it goes like all the way over there, and it's like, this is massive. I've never been in here before. This is actually really cool. But anyway, time's almost up. I need to go back to the car and not waste any time on our trip. So I know for sure I looked like a complete idiot in there because I was so lost. I couldn't find the exit. Apparently you can't leave the same way you came in. That was a little embarrassing, but it's okay. We're heading back to the car now, and I'll never see those people again. Did you look at that? Interesting choice. A wrapped yellow, very bright yellow Model 3. Interesting choice. I wouldn't do that, but more power to them. Alright, that only took about 11 minutes, and we have enough energy to go, 67%. We're going to get to Supercharger in Mocksville with 16%, and supposedly that's our last stop. So this will be a really quick and nice trip, if that's the case. Alright, just unplugged, about to engage FSD, and we're going to continue our travel. Alright, we just got to our second and final charging stop according to the map, and it's at a Sheetz. These are my favorite locations because I can get some sweet mozzarella sticks. But let me go plug this in real quick and I'll update you guys on our stats. So apparently we're only going to be here for 14 minutes instead of 20. I'm not complaining. But so since our last charge, we traveled 118 miles, burned 30 kilowatt hours of energy, and the efficiency was about 255 watt hours per mile. And for our whole trip in total so far, we have an efficiency of 267 watt hours per mile and 322 miles. Hey, not bad. But also, referring to a clip earlier in the video, can we talk about that Hummer hearse limo thing? I have never seen anything like that before. You thought the Cybertruck was polarizing. That thing was wild. That thing got me distracted. But anyway, I'm gonna go into Sheetz right now, and I'm gonna get some food, use the bathroom, and then we'll be on our way out. Just got some snacks, and we're heading back to the car to unplug and get ready to go. Love it when someone ices a spot. All right, just a couple minutes later, we're done charging, and we're gonna unplug this awkwardly positioned supercharger. Oops. All right, and it says we're gonna get to our destination, which I haven't navigated to a supercharger near my friend's house where I'm going because I don't want to reveal their address, but we're gonna get there with 21% in 2 hours, and let's get started after I put on my seatbelt. All right, now that we're all buckled up, we're gonna engage FSD, and let's get going. So we're already on the road, but one thing I did forget to mention was that we had a perfect zero intervention FSD run that whole stretch from the last charging stop. Very impressive. Hopefully it continues to stay that way. That's my first time seeing a Rivian Amazon delivery van. That's pretty cool. Chargers are in sight. This is the final destination. Just want to get some extra juice for tomorrow. But we made it to the mountains of North Carolina. We're a couple minutes away from Asheville. And yeah, I'll give you our final stats in just a second once I plug in. So I just plugged in. Sorry about the sun, guys. It's getting close to sunset. But our total journey was 476 miles because I didn't reset the trip card until 10 miles into the trip. But we burned a total of 125 kilowatt hours, and our average energy consumption was 260 watt hours per mile. So that's pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. So overall, how'd the trip go? It was really, really smooth actually, especially with FSD 12.3.6, which is a major improvement over the early versions of version 12, and especially version 11, which was just, I tried it a couple times, it was not great. It was really robotic, but this is more natural and human-like. It's nowhere near like the smoothness of a driver in all situations. Would I say it solves autonomy like a lot of people say? I wouldn't say a lot, but some people say it does, but I would say absolutely not, at least not yet. I have hope with the progress that we're having with FSD that, yeah, maybe a few years down the line it will solve autonomy, but for now, it still has some issues, like especially in construction zones, taking exits, it's a little hesitant. And one of the most annoying things is sometimes when it wants to change lanes, it kind of like goes like that. It can't decide whether it wants to change lanes or not, which can be kind of embarrassing for you as a driver and also just confuse other people on the road. That would be my two biggest complaints. I think the third would probably be how it likes to stick to the left lane, the fast lane. Even if there's tons of space in the right lane, it just wants to stick to the left lane, which is obnoxious for other people, and it's just embarrassing for you once again. But anyway, this trip was really smooth despite those issues. It was, you know, a lot less fatiguing not having to just constantly think about driving. Of course, you need to stay attentive and keep your eyes on the road. With the new full self-driving computer compared to Autopilot 2.5, you cannot be on your phone while full self-driving is on. Autopilot 2.5, it didn't care really at all, but now it really makes you look at the road. So I'm glad that they're enforcing that. The wheel nags, a little bit annoying. I wish they could just have it where it's, you know, camera based, where they can know that you're looking at the road, but hopefully that'll be fixed in version 12.4. I know Elon Musk, he said supposedly the nag is fixed, but not gonna lie, we've heard that before. But, you know, I don't have 100% faith that that's gonna be fixed, but maybe it will. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching another Electrifying Insights video. This has been the second road trip of many, so more to come. Electrifying Insights is actually, we're planning to have a podcast here soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to have daily updates on EV news and just electric cars in general, what's going on in the industry, highly recommend you go to electrifyinginsights.com and go check us out there. We post articles every day. We're also on, you can save us on your Google News feed, and we're on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, at Electrifying Insights, and Instagram as well. Once again, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.